Yeah, I know it kind of sounds like some people who may be listening, it may sound like we're un-American, like we're commies or something, but that's not true. Our government are commies. They're Bolsheviks. And you don't need to look any further than the Communist Manifesto. You don't need to look any further than the policies implemented the last 10 years, or the last 30 years, the last 100 years. And as I said, if it looks like a Zionist and it smells like a Zionist, it is a central banker. And central banks who caused every boom, every bust. They fund both sides of every war. And so we're not un-American. And I say God bless Americans.
Oh, orale vato. Vatos. Hey, that was a great time. Welcome to Against the Wall live. This is Against the Wall live at UCY.tv. I'm your host, JJink. Coming up next on today's show, we'll talk about, I don't know. We're going to talk about what pisses JJ off. Why are you angry today, JJ? I want to thank Ron Stevens for having me on the show. I had a good time. You get a couple of grumpy guys together. What can go wrong, right? We made some good points, though, and I don't know how well my style fits in between Ron and Hal, but I love Ron and Hal. Hal behind the woodshed. It's a pleasure to be able to say up next behind the woodshed with Hal Anthony. It's been a long time since I've been able to do that. These guys do shows that I would be doing most of the time if I had, enough knowledge. But I don't want to sit and spend a lot of time talking about things I really don't know about. I mean, I just know this, that at some point, you have to, come to terms with where you are and where we are. And when I use this term, the revolutionary spirit, that's actually, somebody else's term, the revolutionary current or whatever. That's somebody else's term. And you can do things like talk about banning this and banning that, but then don't use that. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I'm against usury, so I do everything in my power not to take out usurious loans. I do everything in my power not to give usurious loans to other people. I mean, I like to say, even though I give a lot of things away, I never gave nobody nothing I didn't want them to have. Pardon my backyard hillbilly speech, but a lot of people, I don't even know if I'd say a lot of people, but some people just are so gullible that that the truth really couldn't be reality to them, regardless. Their world has been presented to them, and that's the world that they're going to live in, come hell or high water. But the one thing that you don't have to do is take it laying down. Don't let anyone run their bullshit on you, whether it's at the town hall or it's at. I mean, I was at the post office, and one of the women that works there was talking about what an awful people we are. Peoples, all 7 billion of us, because we're destroying our planet. I was like, lady, ma'am, we're not destroying our planet. Our planet, 70 billion people couldn't destroy our planet. I mean, things are definitely badly, horribly mismanaged. And everybody knows that. So, you just tell them the truth and you let them roll their eyes. And then, just don't, don't be, hey, screw political correctness. Now, does that mean you go running around calling people spick and fag? No, 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 no. Because because there's also common sense. I mean, we're in like this illusion where everything has to be extreme. You either have to be extremely nice or extremely bad, mean or extremely mad. There's no in between. Yeah, there's in between. And you also have to realize that regardless of how much you wish the world was made in your image, it's not. And no matter what you think should be, it isn't. And so, rather than just always being antagonistic, just be real, man. I don't know. I'm not even going to try to make the point. Everybody knows what I'm saying. We live in a land of professionally appalled people. And you have the good thing is that there is guys like Hal who will go out and get together with others and in his community. And there's people in my community too, to fight some of these corporations that come in to steal land to make a penny and then sell it back to you. That's freaking fraud. And like I said, man, this land was populated and then stolen from us by the same freaking people. From the same people. Go west. Manifest destiny. Hoorah! We're American. So that a few thieves can continue to thieve, because they can't work. They won't work. They don't produce. They won't produce. If you give them a plow, they'll sell it and use that money to try to copulate more money. I don't know where I got that phrase from. Rubbing two coins together to see if they'll copulate and make a third. But that's a Jew idea. That's the usury, which is actually a Roman idea. Before, you know what I mean? But it doesn't matter because there are no Romans in America, but there is AIPAC and the ADL and the SPLC. They all know the revolution game, the revolutionary game. First, you convince somebody that they're being downtrodden. Then you convince them that they'll be a hero, that they're going to be a revolutionary. So you get a few people to lead. And when they're done, they steal everything you fought for. They steal everything you fought for. So I got to wonder, for the next 3 or 4 months, man, are we going to even be able to distinguish what's real and what's not on the news? Copperlate. The ability to take money and create more money just by virtue of the fact that you have this money, that you can lend it to me. Now, does that mean when you say, so I'm going back and forth now again all of a sudden already. So does that mean when you say, well, we have to do away with usury, but how will the world function without loans and without credit and without... Well, you can still get a loan without having to pay compounded annual interest, or interest compounded daily, compounded weekly, compounded quarterly. Again, I ask the question, if the Federal Reserve can just print as much money as it wants, why does it need our measly little bit of tax revenue that the IRS steals at the point of a gun each year? Because it's not about highways. It's about transferring. It's about stealing the rights. They don't really want to steal your house. They just want to steal the rights to your house. so that you think it's yours, but it's really theirs, and they can kick you off it and get somebody else in there. They don't want to live on it. They don't want to sell it. They just want to control it. They just want to be in control. They don't want to own your town. They just want to control your town. They want to own the land that your town sets upon. And so we're fooled by this whole manifest destiny. Go out there, and it's the same thing. It was the welfare. It was subsidies of the 18th century. In the 19th century was, there's land, go get it. And once you've got it and you've established it and you've developed it and you've built on it, we're going to steal it from you. Well, that's capitalism. Well, how's that capitalism doing? Well, it didn't create anything. We fucking did it. All capitalists did was create barons. And I'm not anti-capitalist, but I'm not absolutely pro-capitalist either, man. Fuck this whole frickin' system that has been created around us. Be your own system. You're always going to, it doesn't matter. Even if we lived in a completely different system, you're still going to be confronted with conflicting interests every day throughout your life. And the sooner that you learn how to deal with that is the day that you can actually be free. You don't need a piece of paper. Are you waiting for someone to tell you you're free? Are you waiting for someone to tell you that you can be healthy? Are you waiting for someone to tell you that it's okay to clean your own water? And are you waiting for that? I mean, you don't have to wait. You don't need you don't need to be told what's good. You know what's good. You know what's good. And so now I'm starting to wonder, because I like to say all these revolutions are constructed, and we have this second American Revolution that everybody wants to kick off because they're so angry, they're so sick of this country that's been taken over by Muslims. Or commies. It's been taken over by commies, guys. I hate to tell you. Muslims don't control Hollywood, and they don't control Congress. All right. Right now, the current crop of Jew in charge are Bolsheviks. Next year, we're going to have the neocon sort of Marxist militant form of Marxism instead of the cultural, the backdoor philosophy. But it's all the same sort of revolutionary, influence. Got to keep them thinking things can get better. You got to keep them thinking things can get better. And then you got people whose ends are meeting that think, oh, dear, stop crying, get another job. The whole system needs to come down. I know a lot of people want to save it, fix it, but it was never beautiful to begin with. Our forefathers were all Jew Masons. They didn't work. Well, they were plantation owners. They worked. No, they didn't. They didn't work. Other people worked. And they gave us a piece of paper so that we'd think that things are just a little bit better. If you don't like what's going on, look at that piece of paper. Don't come to me. Grab that piece of paper. It's called the Constitution. Grasp it and hold it. I mean, I'm starting to wonder. I spent a lot of time talking about the Constitution, how we need to get back to the Constitution this and the Constitution that. Well, what the hell has the Constitution gotten us? as Sam Kinison would put it, sticky, broken, confused, with the window open. We woke up one morning, the window was open, the curtains were blowing in, and we were sticky, broke, and confused. What happened? You've been raped, son. Someone stole your battery. You've been raped. You've had your dream shattered. But it wasn't your dream. It was a dream that someone else told you should be having. What's your dream? What's your dream? So red alert. Red alert, everybody. Jade Helm is kicked off. They'll be putting you in FEMA camp soon. Hope everybody has their FEMA partner. Don't lose your FEMA partner. He's your partner. He's gonna be there for you, with you. Gonna be your FEMA celly, so you guys can play Uno together. With Jade Helm. So now we have, again, people have seriously, not jokingly, asked me, and not because I'm, not because I'm like anything special. I just spent a lot of time reading, and so I know I'm not, Well, yeah, Jade Helm starts tomorrow, but I'm pretty sure that. I mean, how do we know that this entire? I mean, on its face, this thing that just happened with the cops in Austin is fake. It almost couldn't be real. Yeah, I mean, Jade Helm, red alert, red alert. But here's the thing: when I'm asked, well, what are they going to do next? Nuke a city? No, they'll just have a bunch of these little incidents. Just every time you turn on the TV, there's going to be another. We got this Shawshank Redemption fucking, pardon my language, this storybook jailbreak where the only thing that stands between me and those vicious mad dog, child raping, murdering, escaped, vicious mad dog criminals are the people, these heroes with machine guns kicking in doors and pulling people over without any sort of probable cause to search. They're going to save me. That almost doesn't seem like it could be real any more than, this shooting in Dallas. By the way, he was allegedly shot by a sniper, and then his car caught on fire and all his ammo and the bomb went off, pipe bomb went off. So then I saw a very touching interview with his father. He blamed the police. He blames the police for taking away his children. And I told him, no, you have to blame the liberals that set the agenda that allowed CPS to come and take your children. It's not the police. They're just doing their job. No. Yes and no. Yes and no. I mean, we're all guilty, right? We're all guilty of of the crimes our government has committed. Just like all Jews are guilty of supporting Israel. That's all I'm saying. There's nothing wrong with that, but there's just like whether they support them tacitly or not, or it's the same as me. I have supported, even though I am a voice that has always said no, 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 no. I am part of the people of the United States. We are, in my opinion, whether or not I agree with the crimes of my government and my politicians of my government, and whether or not I agree with the American corporations, I'm complicit. I'm part of the American people, and I've supported it, just like the Jewish people support Israel. And that's, and Israel commits war crimes daily against the indigenous people of Palestine. not the white European settlers that came. So there's that. I don't know why I always have to bring it back. Yeah, I don't know if they're still talking about power tools, but so there won't be a big 9/11. There's going to be a bunch of little 9/11s, and what's it gonna eventually boil down to? Well, more of the same. We have more taxes, more rules, more regulations, less tolerance for criminals, less tolerance for drug addicts, less tolerance for straight white Christian males. I mean, I'm filling out all these insurance forms today, and I'm wondering, should I say that I'm white? I should just start putting other, but I wouldn't. I'm white, I guess. I guess that's what you want to call it. I can't say I'm man. Nobody understands that. We are all man and woman. Most people can't grasp that. You got to be Catholic or Jew or Protestant or Republican or Democrat. You got to be a conservative or a liberal. Can't just be man. Hi, I am man. You got to have a label, a name, a tag, a name tag. Hey, look, this is what you can call me. I don't mind if people call me man. Hey, man. You can call me man. I am. Man, I am. Not Sam. Don't call me Sam. Oh, man. So here we have, we have the Jade Helm and the Jade Helm red alerters running around. So we're going to just be in for a season of little sensationalized events in the news. And they're going to be out west. But I noticed, the one thing I did notice about this this jailbreak, because they're doing unconstitutional searches. Well, they're looking for this mad dog, vicious criminals who, if they don't catch them, are probably going to kill you. I know there's hundreds of thousands of people in the area, but they're going to kill you all. Every one of you will die if we don't get these guys. So you got to let us in your home. You got to let us search your car. And and we're only looking for killers. But if we find a joint, yes, you will be tased and drug out of your car, and your life will be ruined. Even though we don't catch these guys, and they still haven't killed 100 people. They haven't killed 1,000. They haven't killed anybody. But they're gonna. They are going to start slaughtering people if the heroes with the machine guns and the masks, the black masks, if we don't have them out in force, you will be murdered, probably in your sleep. And it'll probably be gruesome. You'll be bludgeoned or something. So, but they extended. Now these guys, instead of being... At first they could have been in Canada or Mexico. Now their search grid has gone from, because they have a woman who alleges that she chickened out at the last minute, and all she knew is that she was to pick them up and drive them for 7 hours. So even though I already live in a constitution-free zone, which doesn't require probable cause to search my car if national security is concerned, they've extended the range of their possible roadblocks to a radius of 7 hours, which puts, most of Ohio, all of New York, much of Pennsylvania. So the longer they don't find these guys, I wonder how much contraband they found. Because that's what it sounds like to me. Anybody who's been to prison knows what it's when they come to shake down. This just seems like a big shakedown. They're out there looking for contraband. These These items you have, ma'am, are not approved. We're going to have to take them. Oh, yeah, and there's a fine. There's going to be a fine assessed. It's contraband. You're not allowed to have it. You're not allowed to do that. You can't question. You can't demand redress of your grievances. What are you going to tell a guy with a machine gun that says, get out of your car? You got a warrant? I mean, I'll start with you got a warrant. I obviously will. But I'm also not going to be murdered in my car by a cop with a machine gun, a freaking pig with a machine gun who I'm supposed to glorify as a hero. But again, I fall into that. I admit that that's me falling in. I know that he is my brother, even though he's got a freaking gun and he wants to kill me. He's been fooled by the system. He's been played against me. He's been played against his brother, and I have a little bit of sympathy for him, a small amount of sympathy, and that's. I mean, you can obviously tell that I was taking a nap before the show. We were talking, Ron and I, and the thing is I just don't see a solution. The solution is to stop looking for solutions and start being a better person. You can always be a better person because you can have these highfalutin ideas of what you want the world to be like, and because it's not, you're miserable, and the people around you are miserable. That's not fair either, and it's not, and if somebody is, completely and perfectly content, because and you'll find most people are, even though many people in my community and your community are waiting for the other shoe to drop, and they know that things didn't get better, that, you know what I mean, that there is no real economic recovery that happened, that things got bad, really bad for a while, and then they stopped getting bad, but they didn't get better. They just stopped getting worse. And so if you ask me, I don't believe that any of these things are for training. They're already trained for martial fucking law. Pardon my language, pardon my French. They're already trained for that. They don't need special training. This is all for a couple of reasons. All these stupid things, these Jade Helms, even this. I mean, I don't want to be the guy that says I don't think this prison break is real, that it's all made up. But I just look at what they're doing because of it. It's, like I said, man, and the same thing is going to be going on all over, like Dallas and wherever the next little incident that we don't know if it's a drill, part of the Jade Helm training, or if it's real, will be more shakedowns, more contraband searches, more, you know what I mean? More limits to the open movement of the general population. And then it'll go away for a while. And then it'll come back. But I definitely believe that we're going to have a lot more incidences this year. This will be the year of probably the year of the homegrown, radicalized, they can't even know. I don't even know what freaking word to use anymore. It's so comical. It's almost beyond belief. But they're still going to fight the drug war. We still got the drug war. About 2.3 million people behind bars just on drug charges. What's the number? Hold on, let me go to. I tell you exactly. You go to Against the Wall. JJink.info. And I got my drug war clock right there. Against the wall here. Let me stick that in there. And I will tell you the current numbers. All right. Oh, it must be only on my chat page. But suffices to say is a lot. As a real estate agent might tell you, that's a lot. So they're doing, I'm pretty sure that, you know, like I said, they don't, I mean, red alert, they're launching missiles. And so we're going to see a lot of crazy stuff this summer, man. I'm in a way, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to all the little patriotards running around. Oh, they're taking away my rights, and they're stealing our jobs, but you still have a good job. You just, you know, you're afraid to lose it. You have a nice house, but you're afraid of other people having nice houses. How's this for? They confirmed they shot this guy by sniper. That's not what I wanted to talk about. Let's see. Oh, the Vatican speaker on climate thinks there are 6 billion too many of us. Who's that? Bill Gates? Prince Charles? They all think there's too many of us. They all think there's too many of us. And so do all these professionally appalled left-wing frickin' tree-hugging, you know, idiots who refuse to commit suicide. If you think there's too many people on the planet, by all means, grab a rope. Do it right. Take a little bit of time. Don't half-ass it. Make yourself a nice hemp rope and hang yourself. Please. Hang yourself. And I used to say hang your wife and children, but you know what? Why subject them to your stupidity? If you think there's too many people, kill yourself. That's my advice. Show me your commitment. You're not very committed if you think there's too many people, yet you continue to not kill yourself. So that's my view. There's too many people on the planet, kill yourself. Because I firmly believe there's enough of everything for everybody. There's one thing out there. It's called usury. It's called compound interest. It's called debt. And it's a yoke that's used to hold us all down. It's the yoke that's around our neck as we drag around, you know, this resource draining, energy draining parasite that's bigger than the actual host. And we drag it around. And we drag it around, and we can't make a payment, so we ask for forgiveness. And, you know, you don't get forgiveness, but if you had like a, you know, if your debts were like $60 million or, you know, if you owed that kind of money to somebody, you've become a slave because now you got to do whatever they ask you to do. Well, we'll forgive some of your debt. We can forgive a little bit of your debt. Oh, well, we'll forgive some of your debt if you give us, say, 20% of all the deposits you have in your country. Yeah, private. Yeah, no, it doesn't matter. We don't care. Take it out of whatever people put in the bank. Give us some of that, and we'll forgive a little bit of your debt. Oh, and one more thing. We want your retirements. Yeah, all those people that worked all their life who, yes, we'll take those. We'll take those too. Thank you. Thank you very much. And all those people who thought they had a nice retirement coming, ask the people of Greece. Ask the people of Greece. Austerity means you got to do more with less. Austerity means you got to tighten your belt. You got to go, baby. You got to go. Texas pulls $1 billion in gold from the New York Fed to make it non-confiscatable. It's also going to be, it'll be available to anyone in Texas other than a few at the top, I'm sure. They claim lack of faith in the central bank's trustworthiness is spreading, which is, essentially true, and I don't take any credit for that. We already know that Germany and Holland and Austria have asked for their gold, but they didn't get it, and neither is Texas going to get $1 billion in gold from the New York Fed. Anyone who thinks that, well, I actually know where there's a bridge for sale, and I'll sell it to you cheap. I just want a small commission, and you can have it. And they claim that this is going to be to prevent seizure from the federal government. The federal government, even if all the gold in America was seized again, the federal government wouldn't get it. It all goes to the Federal Reserve, which is private. And your gold isn't there, Texas. Texas will repatriate $1 billion worth of bullion. They're not going to give you your $1 billion in bullion. Are you kidding? That $1 billion in gold bullion has been rehypothecated so many times that there's $1 trillion attached to it. You're not getting that. So they claim that there are a couple of reasons. One, distrust in the current storage system. And second, threatens the paper money system as a whole. Well, again, I have to fall back to, if they can print as much money as they want, why do they need our taxes? They don't. They don't need your taxes. They can print as much money as they want, and they have. The government, I mean, the Federal Reserve are private. They are a parasite that is sucking the life from us. And in return, our federal government sucks the life from the states, who in return suck the life from the counties, who in return suck the life from your baby, from your children, from your dog. Your dog, on top of the cost of feeding your dog, you have to register your dog, train your dog, you have to leash your dog, fence your dog in. I guess what I'm saying is, don't get a dog. It's part of the system. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, so Texas thinks they're going to get their gold back. They're not. They're building a special little place to put it, when all they really need is a hard drive, because they're not going to get bullion. They'll get some. They'll get some tungsten cord bullion. I don't even really want to read the story or even talk about it anymore, because it's just more bullshit. It's a lie. Hold on here. What's this one? The Vatican. So the Vatican has come out, right? They've got this document. They've come out. And they said that the earth is overpopulated by at least 6 billion people. So you're wondering who put the Georgia Guidestones up? Maybe the Vatican did it. Maybe the Jesuits did it. Maybe the Jew Masons did it. I get a kick out of people who are like, oh, it's this, it's that. They're all the same. They're all the same. So they're trying to. They're again this push for eugenics, for Agenda 21. This whole lie that we've destroyed our planet, that it's been destroyed, but we can save it. Man destroyed it accidentally, but we can save it on purpose, which I'm not buying. Why would you expect that the people at the helm that rammed your ship into an iceberg, oops, and then rammed your ship into another iceberg, and oops. So now I'm going to trust you to navigate me back to shore? No frickin' thanks. Man overboard. I'll swim ashore. So be fearful, be afraid of Jade Helm. The rest of you should be afraid of ISIS. Probably one of your neighbors is ISIS. So I would certainly be careful, and I would keep a close eye on your neighbor. I do believe that your neighbor is ISIS. He may have been moderate at one point, but he's ISIS now. And he shares John Kerry's values. They were the moderate terrorists that shared our views. Oh, man. What do I got? 20 more minutes? 20 more minutes for you to listen to me talk about this bull crap. So I just want everybody to be very, very careful, because that moderate rebel next door to you probably is ISIS. Let's see. You are definitely I don't know how people can't actually understand this, but is ISIS going door to door with machine guns in New York State? No, it's the real terrorists. And that's law enforcement. Law enforcement, they're here to save you. Yet, they're probably the most violent group in America. As a whole, well, there's some good cops. Well, yeah, but there's some bad cops. They're all cops. But there's some good politicians. Well, show me one. But yeah, but they're all politicians. Military. See, that's so much like Alex Jones. There's already military on the streets in America. People have already accepted it. Unless you're talking about like old 20s style with massive parades to show the people that they're safe with tanks and, maybe that. But there's already troops on the streets in America. They got tasers, they got machine guns already, LRADs, and so I don't really think people need to be too much more conditioned to having troops on the streets in America. I think exactly how I mentioned earlier. This is all just a big giant shakedown. Up in northern New York State right now, they're shaking people down left and right, confiscating contraband. And I'm sure they'll be doing that all across the West. The drug war in America is completely immoral. It's a complete failure. It's a waste of money. It's not. I mean, those are the people that are at war with you, man. Not ISIS. It's your own government. I get it, Mike. Yes, federal armed forces. They're on the streets. Look out. And no, I don't mean that. I just mean that, and I don't think the people need to be conditioned to it. I think the people wonder why there aren't U.S. federal troops on the streets already. Really, I do think that. There's only a few of us that even know what posse comitatus. What did I almost say? There's only a few. I can't even pronounce it, so I mean, I guess I shouldn't be the spokesperson. But only a few of us even know what posse comitatus is, or what the John Warren Defense Act was. Only a few of us. Most people think there should be a Yeah, no, I get it. I'm not saying that, but most people don't separate federal government from state, federal takeover of state. They think the federal government is God, that they are the supreme deity here, and federal law trumps all other law, which is not true. But if you live out west, man, Jade Helm is a crisis actor's dream. I guarantee you that. Because head comatosis, whatever you want to call it. Most Americans, I don't believe, really need to be conditioned, although I do see that aspect. I'm not going to deny it. But most Americans really think that, that they could care less if there were armed American troops. They're our friends. They're going to help you when your house blows over in the wind. The military will save you when your car is stuck in a flood. The military is going to come and save you. When ISIS finally attacks you from your neighbor's house, it's the military. It's the military. Low IQ, almost engineered, genetically bred to not be able to do anything but what they're told. They're going to save you. So watch for that. Watch for, okay, this will be my prediction. Between now and September, how many? I can even throw a number on the amount of law enforcement that are going to die, real or not real. And I'm going to go on a limb and say mostly they'll all be false flags, but they'll be played off. Nobody can. I mean, are you kidding? This is it. You know what I mean? And people are going to think that there's these mad dog fucking terrorists running around all over the place, and it's really just all CGI, and you know what I mean? Maybe this is, but you know what? Maybe I'm wrong, guys. Maybe this is the big one, Elizabeth. This is the big one, Elizabeth. This is the big one. I'll come see you, honey. Oh, Elizabeth, this is the big one, baby. Maybe it is, I don't know. It could be. It could be. Canada stand has their Supreme Court. I don't know why I didn't ask my resident Canadian while I was talking to him. Medical marijuana legal in all forms. Supreme Court rules. Well, that's great. I'm sure that Rick Simpson, who had his whole life destroyed and interrupted, and his family split down the middle, those who agree, those who oppose, will be, although I do know that he would be grateful and happy that it finally has happened. But there's that in Canada. Something that I was trying to tell. I mean, I went to once a year I go to church with my stepmother. My mother-in-law, who I love. And And a few years ago, after the earthquake in Haiti, they were, the pastor was talking about God bless the American troops and how we brought, just love and mercy and aid to these people. And I was like, hey, I've seen pictures of American soldiers with their, with their boots on the top of people's heads, controlling how much water comes in and how much water goes out. I saw U.S. ships turning away aid ships from other countries. We got this. We got this. The one thing that these people don't need is too much food and too much medicine. They just need some food, some medicine, and we're going to decide. So at any rate, this just comes out that the UN peacekeepers, of which the United States was part, were engaged in these. I mean, they're just guys. Rape, sodomy, giving away, using. I mean, come on. When you get into a position where you can get a blowjob for a bottle of water, you're a piece of shit. But they have their apologists. So we go in there and, maybe, like I said, I have to fall back on maybe this is the big one. I mean, maybe it is. But you still don't have to take it sitting down, laying down. Just go out there and tell them, and let, most of my friends do know that most of this shit is staged, that all the world is staged and we're just merely players. It's getting harder and harder to convince people, but some people it's getting much easier to convince because the stuff it just most of it is hard to even it can't even be taken seriously. Judges, I believe, federal judges ruled that administrative courts are unconstitutional. Well, of course they are. Of course they are. So don't use the court. When you find yourself in court, you already did something. You already freaking made a mistake because you're in the court. Use the town hall. Change the hearts and minds of people. Barack Obama said, we can't change the hearts and minds of the people if we continue to use private contractors. And that's all, If you want to do something, win the hearts and minds of the people at town hall. If you find yourself in court, you've already got the deck stacked against you. Try to avoid getting into court unless you're prepared. But you don't, I always advise somebody to just sit through a couple of common council sessions or sit through a couple of, meetings just to get the feel for it. But at a common council meeting, at the PTA meeting, at the town hall, you don't have to know law. You don't have to have all your ducks in a row, or else you're gonna lose something. Make the people around you see that the system that they rely on is completely, totally twisted, and that we don't have to engage. If you can convince some of the people in your community that you don't have to engage in all these different practices, that growth isn't necessarily good. Why is it? Why is growth good? The more money we take from the federal government, the easier it's going to be for them to say, okay, we're going to shut your town down completely. We're going to completely shut your town down. And I don't know if I actually have enough time to go into the Securities and Exchange Commission, administrative court, administrative law judges. Everybody uses it. All the states use administrative law judges. Workers' comp uses administrative. All the state disability insurance use, the administrative law. There's no real due process. There's no real habeas corpus, if there ever it really was, not just the illusion, but they do. And it's corporate. No, they can't put you in jail, but they can destroy your life and have everything given to you or everything taken from you. Without due process. Without a jury of your peers. So that is hope, I guess. I mean, there's good people out there. It's just a bad system. So keep your head up. And seek other people. Remember that you're not going to see eye to eye on everything, even the people that agree with you on many things. But get out there and seek like-minded. And I don't mean people who are out there trying to make a spectacle, or people out there to become, celebritarians or whatever. Get in there with real people at the town level, at the local level. Because most of these fucking idiot activists aren't at a town hall. They're out on a street corner with a sign. They're soliciting donations. They're selling squatty potties and freaking gosh darn filters and Jew gold. And so, you're going to have a lot better results if you just not go to the bar, but go to the town hall, go to some of these, community functions, go to the tree lighting, get back with some of the people in your community so that you can share. Not bullhorn them on Facebook. Not, don't be a mumbler as you walk away. Engage. Ask questions. Accept questions and give answers. A complete dialogue is, shouldn't be a debate. I'm sick of fucking debates. Why? Let me ask you questions, and then you ask me questions, and I will try to answer, and you will try to answer, and together, you know what I mean? We'll be able to, it makes it a lot easier to articulate how you feel, how you act, what your intentions are. If we engage in a series of question and answers rather than debates where I prepared my side, and well, let me ask you, give me tell me what you think. Yes.
People, we're good people. We're God-fearing people. We're being led by leaders who are godly, who are lawless. All right? Don't let them fool you into thinking you're lawless and you don't have to care. They can call it whatever they want, but they can't make us hate. Yeah.
I'd rather die than be a slave to thee. Don't treat me this way.